What was it?
Point at the map and we'll get there somehow. The sky ain't falling, let's get out of this town. Our time is vital and we're making it count. Doing what we can to show them who we are now. Okay, 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 yeah, yeah. Let's show them what we're made of. Let's show them who we are. Okay, 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 yeah, yeah. Don't aim for the clouds, we gotta shoot for the stars. We got tonight, yeah, yeah, we got tonight. We got it going on and we're feeling alright. This is our time, okay, now is our time. We're doing what we want and we're feeling alright.
Okay. Hi, my name is Cynthia Frazier and I race for the Velocio Explorer women's racing team, and I'm in Spain, in Granada, here with my 3T Explorer Ultra that I took throughout the Badlands route. It's a bikepacking race that's 750 kilometers with about 15, probably more, 1,000 meters of climbing. And I'm gonna tell you what I brought in my bags. We'll start out with the top tube bag. This is the Holy Grail. It holds all of my electronics and some other assorted items. This one, very important, 2 USB European charger, in case for some reason I did stop and I needed to charge other items that I had. But my primary use of battery was 2 external batteries. This one is the Nitecore NB10000, and it's a really lightweight, super awesome, new, just came out external battery. It probably charged my Wahoo 5-6 times, so that was great. And then just as a backup, I brought this as a backup. It's a 5000 mAh OtterBox, which is a little smaller, but I did actually end up having to use this. Had those to charge the AirPods, my phone, and the Wahoo. I didn't have anything else that I needed to charge, but I do carry a light that doesn't use batteries, it uses charge, and this is more of like an extra. This I put on my handlebar. This is a wonderful light, and it's awesome for when it's really technical, but I only use it in case of an emergency, i.e. I run out of battery in the battery one. It will last a long time. I think you can have this last 2 nights of night riding on a low setting. So I ended up having to use this at the very end in the finish, probably like the last 30 minutes. This light actually goes on my helmet. It's the Phoenix HM65R, and it's a battery operated light. It has a rechargeable battery in there, but I actually bring regular disposable batteries as well. So I brought 2 sets in the bike bags along with the rechargeable one, and that allowed me for 3 nights of full charge headlamp battery. Cords, I've got a iPhone cord and then a USB-C cord, which I don't have here. And I've got a couple snacks in here. I eat a lot of Bobos. They're really good. This is a Pop-Tart. Emergency peanut butter packets. These are amazing. This one is 200 calories. So if you're gonna be out of food, you can take this. You could take 2. They're awesome. I actually carry 4 in my bike bag. That way I know if I'm getting low on food, I still have 800 calories of food. They do get a little melty in the desert though. I got some important items for the body. The Tums antacid I use that a lot. I had to use that on the first night of the ride. I had some issues with nausea and I threw up a couple times, and the Tums really, really helps. So this is Cortisone Cream, and it's Preparation H. It's all the things that you might expect from some sort of like anti-itch cream, whatever, but it's super helpful for swollen skin. So I use it if I feel like I'm getting some saddle sores or something. This is great. So I use this. Next I got a lube. This one is a dry lube from Muck Off. This is great. I carry 2 of these, and I usually carry a wet lube. I did not because it's the desert, so I figured I wouldn't need it. I've got this battery here. These are actually 2 individual ones taped together with some electrical tape in case I needed electrical tape. And that is the disposable batteries that go into the headlamp. I carry 3 ETAP batteries. I only use 2, but in case for some reason something happened, I have a 3rd one. And the last thing in here is my handy dandy caffeine pills in this top little one. The bottom thing is CBD cream, which is a pepperminty kind of scent to it, and I use it on my hot foot, or if for some reason I have another ache in my shoulder or something, I will use that, and it's wonderful. It smells really good too. So that's what I keep in my top tube bag. In my frame bag here, it's mostly tools, emergency things, and then I have a water bladder. As you can see, emergency clothes. This here is an emergency vest. This one is from Velocio. It's the ultralight vest, and they just came out with this one. It actually has pockets in it, which is really nice. It's kind of bright too, so I brought this one mostly because I just needed a light layer for when it got cool in the desert, but not too cool. These are Volacio Arm Warmers. I ended up having to use them. They were great to have and easy access in that bag. I can open it while riding. You can see here, this is the bladder that I have in here. This one is a 1.5 liter, and it's awesome for almost every ride I do. I carry this, especially if I'm gonna be in a place where the water is sparse. Got a couple items back here. See, this little thing right here has every little part you could ever want. So we'll go through that. You've got Schwalbe tire levers. I have a wolf tooth chain plier for putting in a new chain if you need to. This is your 8 for your pedal wrench, and then CO2. Emergency bag, more lube, little bacon strips from another CO2, because you never know, you might need a second one. Extra contacts, the charger for the exposure light, and then a few 2032 batteries, and these are the batteries that go in my tail light. So I have a bunch of these. They also go in my shifters and in the power meter, so if for some reason one of those dies, although I do put fresh batteries in before I start an event, it's good to have a bunch. In this little pack of goodness, extra derailleur hanger, CO2 chuck, very small, nice. Extra brake pads. This is awesome in case something happens. Although I do usually replace my brake pads before I start a big event. It's good to have some. 2 patches. Assorted valve stems and cores of different lengths. An extra cleat. This is super important. The number of times I've heard that people couldn't finish because their cleat bolt came out. Always important to bring a second set of cleats. A valve core extender, chain links. This is the little baggie of goodies. So this one right here is really important. Hopefully never need to use it, but it's there. The next big thing is the saddle bag. This is the 7 liter, and it has a bunch of assorted items in it. I used the Velocio rain jacket. I went with the rain jacket, and it was hot, but if it had rained, I would have had it. So I brought it and it didn't rain. Had this. I wore it actually over a down jacket that I had. It was really cold in the desert. So this super light 220 grams Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisperer jacket. This is awesome. Wonderful. Keeps you warm when you need it. There were some descents in the desert that I needed it. I brought this silk liner. Only sleeping item I brought, and I shouldn't have even brought it. It was sort of a waste, but I thought I might use it somewhere. I did lay down in the sand, but I couldn't fall asleep because it was too cold. But that's a good thing to have if it's like really nasty out and or it's like humid and you are sleeping in a sleeping bag and you don't want to get your sleeping bag gross. You can use the liner. 2 tubes, didn't have to use them, but very important to have them. Lastly, the only other bag that I have on the bike is this food pouch here, and the food pouch is just snacks. There's nothing like mega special in here. I do carry drink mix in it. Just stuff as many bars as I can in there, and gummies. I use the Wahoo Element Bolt. This is awesome, lasts a pretty good long time. 3 bottles, so I had 3 liters of water on the bike, and at times that wasn't enough, but that's okay because I had this awesome Apidura Musette bag. It's a little packable bag. It comes out this little thing here, and it is amazing. I mean, it will hold, I had a 1.5 liter plastic bottle in here at one point with food. I carried 2 subs in here. Like, this bag is amazing. It wraps around, and what's even really nice about it is it doesn't move. So when you put it on, it goes over your shoulder, and then there's a clamp that you can use that will keep it in one place. And when you're riding, it will not go anywhere. It literally, it stays where it is, and you can put this little extra baggie inside the bag, but it doesn't move. So it's a wonderful addition to something super simple. This is dead space on my bike, so it works really well. So this is what I carried for the 2022 Badlands race, where I got second, and I learned a lot. I am really happy with my setup. There were a few things I would change. I probably wouldn't even bring, say, a silk liner, or I might actually bring some more real food, stuff it in my saddlebag rather than some bars. I think I had too many bars. But besides that, I was really happy with the setup. I was happy with my gear ratio. I had a 38 tooth 10-52 cassette and SRAM mullet with my 3T Ultra, and it was amazing. Tires were great. I was on the Schwalbe RS G1 tires, and they were great. Super awesome. 45 front, 40 rear. It was a dream. Yeah, this bike was awesome.